sorry I'm a little congested. Life.
Would you like some brief?
No, I just,
I have some brief. Yeah.
What is that?
Take the brief, take it out of a thing here,
Mm-hmm.
tit, and then roll in that little roly ball right there on the bridge of your nose.
Right like this?
Yeah. Get a...
Okay.
Breathe.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yes. Well, hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan coming at you right here, right now. Pre-recorded yet again for your live listening pleasure, where it's that time to sit back, relax, and crack open a cold one. I didn't have any cans, so that was a bottle. For another episode of Season 5 of This Evening Tonight. And with me here, not yet again, as Dave couldn't make it, Scott is out in that deployed environment defending our fucking freedoms. Martin is ridden off into the sunset. No, guys, this week I have a special guest, a very good friend of mine, one of my oldest and bestest of friends, the Chad.
Hello, everybody.
That is the Chad, is in Chad, Chadwick, whatever, not the Chud. So, my God, I'm so happy to have you on here. I've been wanting to have you on here. Oh, probably since January 2020, like when the show got started, roughly.
Yeah, it's we have not been able to have our schedules meet up, and had some free time today, so let's do it.
Very happy. You're looking amazing. I'm loving the flannel. I'm loving the...
Wow, I mean, I had to look like a true blue red-blooded American with my gray and red flannel button-down jacket.
Oh, no, you drove up in the Danger Ranger. It's just like, my God.
Yeah, this hat, my wife keeps trying to throw it away, but...
it's a WVU hat, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's been run through a paper shredder, but that's okay because I wore it over there in the mountains of a cold place where President Biden bumbled the evac. I won't say it. I'll let you draw your own assumptions. So that's cool.
So speaking of weak pullout game, no, just kidding.
Yeah, weak pullout game by Papa Joe. Did you see today the clip where he was joking around saying that Fauci is the actual president?
I did see that, and
I saw it in several different contexts. And
okay, so look, real quick though, as most people know for the show, we try not to take any political sides, and we want to take this train absolutely fine. I'm all for the comedy, but we also, just for the sake of admittance, have to admit that every president has been so full of these gaffes.
Oh, absolutely.
Like GW was he was one of the funniest ones. That whole "fool me once, shame on me."
Well, I wasn't trying to go with a political stance on this.
I know you're not, but a lot of people that kind of peruse these podcasts and listen to the show, some people can view things, different ways depending on how it's said. So it's good for me to put that little disclaimer out there from time to time. But please continue with President Fauci.
I just can't wait to see who is going to play him on Saturday Night Live as the acting de facto, whatever, however you want to call him. I just found it super funny because...
I did like where Fauci kind of turned into a Sith Lord. I am the science.
Yeah, I am the science.
What the fuck? I am the Senate.
I'd like to say, can you teach me to science? I just couldn't get over, I just had to chuckle at it. I didn't have a lot of time to look at the news today. I was out running around and about, burning my children's inheritance through my OPEC eating diesel truck.
Oh God! Hey, did you notice though the gas prices they've slowed down?
They slowed down.
Now, when this episode comes out a week from now, we could all be full of shit and we're like, well, it's $7. We're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I was rolling coal with my boys in the back. We hit some Chick-fil-A and we did a few other things. Some early or last minute, however you want to prepare yourself, holiday perusing, if you will.
just right up in that big old American winning machine. Also,
Absolutely. 8-ball, as you would call it. The Ford F-15000.
The Ford F-15000. What would you say to a truck built to carry up to 18 other trucks? You'd say, "Gah," because that's what an orgasm sounds like. So also, real quick, you guys, for the listeners out there, you might notice the audio quality is, chef's kiss, pristine. Because the cold season is upon us, and we've moved it back in here into the studio. And my throat whistled when I inhaled. It was a little weird. It was like a...
Yeah, it's a nice little setup you got here. Wasn't quite as frightening as I thought it might be.
Yeah, according to some other people that were on the show, they're like, it feels very surgical in here, so we started moving it out into the building. Maybe it reminds me of, remember Armageddon? Where they're interviewing those guys, like, or not interviewing, but they're giving them the NASA test. And they said, "Was this room supposed to make me feel uncomfortable?" You know, does it make you feel uncomfortable? And they had that German dude.
Oh, classic film. Yes.
It was. And speaking of classic films, so I heard that you went and got to see a movie that I've been aching to see in my bones that I have not yet pulled the trigger on. And that movie is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Afterlife, yes. So, quick backstory on that. I am a Ghostbusters fan. I have been since day one.
I am as well.
So 1989, I believe, is when the second film came out, roughly around there. I was, like 6, maybe 7.
So my understanding, this movie was based through script writing done by Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman's son.
Yes.
Because it used to be Reitman and Ramis and Aykroyd, and then...
And I think, I may be wrong, so if I am, sorry. I do think that Harold Ramis did have some of the initial ideas for the concept of this film. And then, obviously, with his untimely passing due to illness, I was not able to see the project through. But backstory, when I was a young boy, my father took me to see Ghostbusters 2 at a small theater in our local hometown, the Warner, which was pretty much a standalone. So I took my son, and I now live in a world where my oldest son has seen a Ghostbusters film on the big screen.
Hell yes.
And he, let's just say he's hooked. We've watched the other movies a few times, but he was right into the story from the minute one all the way till the end. I will tell you if you go. I'm not going to ruin any surprises for you because you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. This needs to be a no spoilers discussion.
No spoilers. Stay till the credits are over. That's all I'm going to tell you, people. And you'll like what you see.
Now, I remember the set, dude. So, the second one with, Lord Vigo, the Scourge of Carpathia.
The Carpathia.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, to tie this in here, I guess. First of all, that was one, I don't know why, when I was getting Vigo, it scared the shit out of me.
Still does. Yeah. Haunts my dreams.
Not even like the dog, okay, we brought the dog from the first one.
Still can't walk past a painting without locking eyes with one. It doesn't matter who it is. Could be a dog, could be a bird, could be a flower pot, but I still have to stare at it and make sure it's not staring at me. Thanks, Dad.
So, the original script for the third movie that was supposed to be done years and years ago, early 2000s, it never made it to the big screen. Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, they were all on board. Andy Potts was on board. They had issues with Bill Murray.
Yeah, there was...
He was like, I'm too old to act this, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And they said, what if we could do it, and you guys could be just a couple years younger instead of 20? They went,
There was also some personal things going on there between Harold and Bill, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Towards after the wrap up of Groundhog Day, I guess they had a falling out. But it's just like Paul McCartney and John Lennon. I guess we'll never know. But we got the next best thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that segue, have you seen the Get Back trailers for the Beatles that's on the Disney Plus now?
I have not.
So I'm a fairly good music guy. I watched it because I wanted to say I saw some new footage of the Beatles because they've written some pretty good stuff over the years, influenced a few people, just like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I will say, really good, solid film. Super hard to follow because I'm not British.
Did you
And
turn the subtitles on?
well, so they do subtitle it, especially Ringo. But I had a great time watching it. Yeah, Ringo. Well, Ringo throughout the whole film looks like a corpse, and he's fantastic. And then you fast forward, and he still looks the same.
Like just ageless.
Well, I mean, he's got a few wrinkles, but he still looks like a corpse, just with short hair now. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out here eventually. But the segue I was leaning into on that was the failure of the coming to light of the third Ghostbusters movie back in the early 2000s, which ended up turning into Ghostbusters, the video game that came out on PlayStation 3.
Fantastic game.
And I know me and you have talked offline about this. I re-downloaded it. They remastered it and placed it on PS4, and I guess you can get it on the PS5 and probably the other next-gen consoles. Hell, you can probably even get it for PC. I don't know. If you haven't played it, if you're a huge Ghostbuster fan, and because I know a couple games came out, this is one I highly, highly recommend it. Because another thing, Stu, we haven't really talked a lot about gaming. Most people on this show know that I'm a big gamer. And we haven't really talked about one in a while, but that game. That goddamn game. The moment I entered the firehouse, and then Slimer gets loose from the containment facility. And then I gotta team up with Dan Aykroyd because I'm the new guy in the firehouse, and I gotta track that green blob of shit down, and I start throwing down that first fucking rope of glittery gold of that the neutrinos and the neutrino wand, and he starts talking his Dan Aykroyd science stuff while I'm trying to capture Slimer. Oh my God. I felt so good. I felt never had felt such immersion in a game because it was in a universe that I loved and knew. And that game has never disappointed me. When I re-downloaded for the PS4, it was fantastic. I still haven't beat it yet. They did it right. They did it to where, you don't just have the proton pack, but you're the new guy that gets hired in, and you got
to earn your stripes.
You got to earn your stripes for one, but you also, you know what? They're going to make you the guinea pig because, like, if that was a movie, you're not going to blow up the 4 main characters. Right. So you're the guinea pig. So you're the guy that's how the game justifies giving you new weapons. Like, this is the Sub-Zero dark matter ray, or this is the meson particle emitter, and all this other. Like, it was fantastic. And
I will say the PlayStation version is awesome, but
I know where you're going.
The Wii version, where you actually have to have some semblance and form of agility. I wouldn't say agility, maybe a little eye-hand coordination, is really a great experience. And I didn't know this, and I guess I'm going to owe you a rain check on this. There is a 2-player mode with the Wii, more like a.
Can you get a neutrino wand mount that you can put the Wii controller in?
I'm sure that we could fabricate something.
Does it make the make the charge noise out of the controller? Because I know it has a little speaker.
We can. I can't remember exactly, but I think we could probably fashion something that would allow us to geek out majorly.
I'm just saying, right there, game developers, if you're listening to this shit, right there. I mean, you have things like the Wii, old technology now by today's standards. I know had that little speaker in it. My PS4 has that little tiny speaker in it.
Yeah.
Why not? Oh, why? That would have been so satisfying. I just realized that when I turn on the Proton Pack in my remastered version, if that controller made that,
maybe a little rumble,
where
you could feel like a little hum where it was warming up.
Oh, that is satisfying. That would be. Yeah. Oh God.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, so my son's 5. Super cool kid, but he was singing the Ghostbusters song by Ray Parker Jr. Okay,
good.
And we're familiar with that, but have you ever stopped to listen to some of the lyrics? Yeah.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Yeah, there's something unsettling about your 5-year-old screaming "Bustin' makes me feel good," and I just hope someday you get to experience that with a child yelling, at a Ghostbusters movie in the middle of the theater. It's a little perverse, but it was
also in the middle of the theater.
He yelled it in the middle of the theater busting makes me feel good. So that added another envelope of awkwardness to my movie going experience with my
embrace
child.
it.
Oh, well, we had the whole experience. He had his drink and his popcorn. We had some candy, reclining heated seats in the theater. I mean, just a wonderful
They
experience.
have heated seats now?
Yeah, so the AMC theater, because of the pandemic, the never-ending story too, you have to pick your seats. So we were able to pick on a video screen when we paid for our tickets what seats we wanted, and really cool. They power recline seats and with a low and a high heat, and there was also
Wait, like when you say recline, like there's like a footrest and everything?
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
It's like an easy. It's a lazy boy.
Yes, it's like a yes.
It's a fleet of lazy boys.
So it's and the other thing that was really cool was there was some speakers behind there. So there's large like ledges, landings where each chair is. So you have a lot of room. So you're not like right up on the chair.
Oh, they've finally done it. They've finally done it right.
Well, there were some speakers behind you, and I mean, it was, I have some hearing problems, and I didn't have a sound one problem with that movie, and it was great. There's also some other movies coming out. Again, I won't ruin it for you. I want you to see it yourself, make your own decisions. They're going to be awesome. It's going to be a very good movie season. So,
well, it's about damn time. So, for those listeners out there, Jad, maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself here in a segue.
Oh, okay. What do we want to? What do you want to know?
Whatever you want to do. We call it like a quick 60-second rundown.
Oh boy, there's not much to tell. I like to drink beer. I spent a few years in the Army. I'm in the reserves now, and I work for what's left of the federal government on the civilian side. I think we got funded today. I'm not sure.
I did check the news there because I knew some. I got some friends that work for the Fed as well, and they were talking about it. I said I'll keep my eyes open. I guess the House okayed it, went to the Senate, and they did it like either late last night or early this morning.
They found the votes.
Yeah, apparently government good to go until February 18th. I want to say
they always find the votes late at night.
When they're good and drunk. Lewis Black put it best.
I sure would be.
He said the House and the Senate, like we need the old school House and Senate, and he said it comes out at night when they close all the doors, and then they get drunk, and then they just figure shit out.
I guess.
That's what I'm hoping is going on. I'm certain there's no way, shape, or form any kind of underhanded or backdoor deals happening, but somebody getting what they want, getting their back scratched and scratching somebody else's back. But hey, you know what? The federal government is up and running.
I don't think it was the actual.
We are saved.
Yeah, I don't think it was the actual people that were there. I believe it was, the movie Fight Club, but they were just using their aides in a Fight Club type scenario to win those votes. That's my idea of it. I think it would be.
Sound like lobbying.
No, not even lobbying. That would be civilized. What they're doing is not civilized at all. But that's just my opinion. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because, well, we don't have that much time. Big holidays coming up.
As you can see, I've already got some Christmas presents wrapped up here, ready to go with wonderful, wonderful paper on it.
You're making Christmas great again.
I am, and the old lady has seen the paper and just absolutely despises it.
But here's the thing that's going to be satisfying about that is she gets to remove that in her rage.
And rip the shit out of it, and then at the end of it...
Or the other way, she won't touch it, and you can just return it and get your money back.
Save some money.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm having a good time. I've been trying to find these issues of supply chain. I've not been able to find anything
the supply chain that
I have absolutely needed that I haven't been able to find. But I'm not a minimalist, but I'm also, there's not a big shortage of Natty Light going around right now because, well, no one.
But the price is going up.
Well, the price is going up, but it probably needed to on Natty Light.
Keep all the riffraff out.
It's just a solid beer. I mean, I want the college kids to be priced out of it so I can enjoy.
Well, they have Hams now, which is like $8 for a 30 rack.
Well, yeah, Hams is just
I don't mind the hams. It's not terrible. It's not a go-to. I mean, I had a PBR earlier, and that was
PBR's solid.
it's solid. Yeah,
it's real
So
solid.
when you think back though, back in our days when we was young and didn't have no hairs on our chest, and other funny places.
I mean,
like PBR was like, oh man,
I mean, I still
it was the rot gut.
Yeah, I still drink malt liquor 40, so I guess maybe I'm a bad test subject, so that's cool.
I mean, we're up here drinking this Diller High Life champagne.
Yeah, clear bottle.
Clear bottle though.
Yeah, you got to be able to see it so good.
Established 1903, the champagne of beverages.
Yeah, cannot wait for them to try to improve this. I don't think they can.
I believe you coined that before there, sir, was don't mess with success.
Yeah, don't mess with success. It seems to be pretty recession-proof. It's all over the place.
Well, when you think about it, beer is always kind of a recession-proof thing. When the times are good and everybody's celebrating, we're drinking. When the times are bad and everybody's
We're drinking.
knee-deep in woe, we're drinking.
We're drinking. So I'm a bit of a movie aficionado. I like to watch different things. I was watching Beyond Band of Brothers last night. Are you familiar with this?
Band of Brothers, I am familiar with. Like Tom Hanks produced it and also made the Pacific. He is an amazing filmmaker, I've learned. Band of Brothers I discovered that when I want to say I was probably a sophomore in high school, like whenever it first came out. And I love that series so much that it is a yearly watch for me.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm right there on that time of year to watch it.
A couple times a year I watch it.
The old lady has never seen it.
Well, she is in for a treat.
Unfortunately, she's going to be in bed in 20 minutes because she has to work her AM shift tomorrow.
Oh no, you'll have to watch one of the episodes twice. Terrible.
Oh, no.
So Beyond Band of Brothers, it's the same production, but it's the actual footage of the interviews of the men of Easy Company.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which they always had in the original series in the beginning. They would interview.
Right. So it's all of those.
They had Winters and Lipton and Garnier.
Yes, it's all of those clips. It's about an hour long, and it's put together in a way that follows their timeline with their experience. But it's through their eyes and their actual voice.
Okay.
And that is a generation that is quickly dissipating.
Very much
my grandfather's generation, as a matter of fact. So very, very profound words. I was watching it last night. I was about half kicked in the ass. I had been drinking root beer bourbon, which I'd never had before.
That's not a real thing.
Absolutely. And it tastes just like it sounds. Delicious.
Is this like peach whiskey?
No.
Like Beard Dog?
No. This is big boy bourbon, but with an aftertaste of root beer.
So it's an infusion.
Yes.
Okay, real quick on that. There are people that will drink flavored whiskeys. Like there's like chocolate. There's peanut butter whiskey, like Screwball, which is rot gut whiskey with a bunch of flavor shot like sugar of peanut butter like mixed into it. I tried to drink some of that.
That's just not fair to the whiskey.
Well, I had to water it down. I had to put ice on it.
Yeah.
And it still was like, I'm drinking diabetes.
So,
but you're talking about like they just infuse the essence of the flavoring into it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't alter the base characteristics of the whiskey or the bourbon.
No. I'll have to get the label, share it with you. Anyway, back to me being about half kicked in the ass, and I'm a history guy and a movie guy, and I'm watching this documentary, which I've seen before, and I'm listening to these guys' words, and I just can't stop and help but think, what would they think about everything right now? They were actually a party to and witness to liberation of censorship and oppression, and they were tied up in that ideologue of basically the guardians of the free world, and many, it depends on what history you read.
Yeah,
of course, with whoever wins gets to write the story. So we write the story this time. But just I would love to have an hour, maybe 2, just with a couple of those guys, just to see what their take is.
Well, I mean, we talked briefly offline there that we know how some of them are feeling.
Oh, absolutely. But just to see, and really is what, 75, 80 years?
Mm-hmm.
Which is not really, in the grand scheme of things, a very long time to see this.
In the scope of the universe, it's a blink.
To see this shift, I guess how people of their age, when they went and did what they did, are now handling themselves within the world. I'm not going to dig into that and give examples. We all know what we're seeing and doing. And it's just, where did the change happen? I don't know.
Somebody once said here that wish we could rewind time. With everything being recorded for the last almost 100 years since we've had film, there has to be a time that you could rewind and look at all this information
and see the shift
and be able to find that exact moment when it happened. But talking about those vets, that was one thing that with that video that I'd seen that I talked to you about that you'd also seen. You have what people regard as the greatest generation, that they literally fought for the freedom of not only the countries that they represented, their home country, but against the physical and literal oppression that was happening to them.
Right.
Where you had a force that was high as shit on meth, known as the Blitzkrieg, that was coming for you to take your shit, to take your town, to take your country, and make sure that you were going to be speaking that language to make it a grand empire. All that was coming down the pipeline. Gets fought off by all the countries of the world. Like, you had a rebellion going against this fucking big-ass empire, but as they called it, it was the axis of evil versus the allied powers.
I think what else that is often overlooked when it comes to that Second World War is these were children, sons and daughters, and I will say sons and daughters because both men and women contributed to the war effort. Mm-hmm. These were sons and daughters that were fighting really 2 wars. They were fighting the Axis, mm-hmm. But they were also fighting the midst of a depression.
Oh yeah,
right. So their homeland was ravished financially and physically from Dust Bowl, all kinds of natural disasters, a lack of jobs, no money, anything like that. And then they're like, well, let's go to Europe. Let's go to the Pacific. And you have this calling that I don't think we'll ever see again of a whole people.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there was a catalyst. We had the attacks on Pearl Harbor, which mm-hmm. is coming up, the anniversary here in a few days. But I don't think we'll ever see a generational unity like we did then. And not to shifting as fast as they did into the production and the beating down of the oppression of the continent of Europe and, Asia.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see that. But
I've told people before, I said, if you want to galvanize a country back together again and stop this whole bullshit divide that's going on, wait for this country to get invaded. Wait for something big. 9/11 happened? What happened after 9/11?
Oh, there was a stream of patriotism.
Boom! There was a boom of patriotism for years. And nobody gave a shit about the color of your skin. And honestly, let's think about this here rationally for all the real people, as the normies, the grunts out there, all of us, citizens, and just human beings that listen to this show. Most of us, honestly, don't give a shit about the color of your skin, about how you're aligned politically, about how you want to identify as, about how you worship whatever God you want to worship. Most of us, the ones that are out there right there next to you, don't give a shit.
No.
The ones that are higher up that manufacture this bullshit, that's the whole divide. But that's getting... I don't want to get any further than that because that'll get real deep real fast.
Well, I'll just say my last piece on that. And you hit everything on the head perfectly. But the divide is good for ratings. So...
sensationalism.
I felt that that it's funny you mentioned the swelling of the patriotism and the pride. I felt that myself as a younger man. You know, I did some time. I did some things, some time in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm continuing to serve. And the change. Oh my goodness, the change. But, you know, I guess we can't always be where we were. We're going to evolve no matter what happens. I just hope that it's the evolution is something that we can survive.
But here's my thing. A lot of the stuff that I see happening out here, I don't define it as evolution. It's almost a de-evolution.
We're regressing.
I told my old lady the other day, I said, you look at a lot of these movements and these facets, or like it's like different tribes, as Scott put it. But I realized something the other day was we're fighting racism right now. But we're fighting it with racism. Like, I get maybe the old fight fire with fire, but we're literally fighting racism with racism right now. Like, Martin Luther King, okay, talked about that in his great I Have a Dream speech. He saw a dream one day of all men and women, all the children of all colors can all be together, like, just to coalesce and mesh and just be as one. And now we're at the point that I'm supposed to feel horrible for something I have no control over. I'm supposed to be horrible that I'm white. So naturally, I'm supposed to be a horrible person because I'm privileged and virtue signaling this and that. And that I just, damn it, if only I picked the right character at the customization screen at the start of my life.
Yeah. The message of Dr. King and the translation today is lost.
I mean, look at the statues, okay? So we look at the statues from like Civil War generals.
Well, I truly believe that the removal of that is dooming us to repeat that history.
That's what I'm saying, though. This is where it starts, right? So we go, oh, well, this guy owns slaves. And I'm going to go, you know what? Your logic, I find, is flawed personally. But at the end of that, we'll follow that through and say, you know what? I agree with you. You take them down. How long before we start taking other statues down? Well, like, oh, well, that Statue of Liberty, that's a white lady.
Where does it stop?
She represented the white oppression for the poor Irish and African and German and all the immigrants from all over the world coming in. That somebody's going to get offended by that damn big ass statue.
Yeah, where does it stop? Where's the cutoff? Boy, I don't know.
Because we're just getting everybody. Well, not we, but the normies, us, the regular Joes out there.
Joe Six-Pack.
Joe Six-Pack, you know.
Yeah. Got my toolbox and my Ford F-15000, my truck. Yeah, listen, I think we need to start analyzing how we do things individually, because that's what a bigger ecosystem is.
Mm-hmm.
Without individual components, if you're lacking something, then something's not going to work correctly. And this conformism is really going to be the downfall of our society, because we're taking away individualism and different thought. And I really feel like strongly, and I'm trying to raise my children with open-mindedness so they can form their own opinions, you know, but I'm fearful that the education that I was given won't be the same that they're given.
No, there's heavy, I don't want to use the word indoctrination, but a lot of it feels that way from all the news stories that I get. And again, we're going off the news. Sensationalism sells.
Well, I haven't been in school in years.
Yeah, me neither.
So, I mean, like, new math, Common Core, like, they've been doing math for like, I'm going to say like at least 20 years now. So, let's just go ahead and try this new thing out. No, that doesn't work. But hey, what do I know? I'm kind of a dumb hick that is living in someone else's world and on my time. How's that sound?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm just looking to carve my piece out, help everybody that I can along the way, make a little bit of an impact to my children. and hope at the end of the day that I did it right. But I don't know if people feel that way anymore.
No, I agree with you on that. It seems to me, because you were just talking right there about having an impact on the life of your family. It seems to me there's too many people concerned with trying to have a massive impact on the world. Everybody wants to be a part of the grand movement. Everybody wants to be like, I did this. When in reality, they haven't handled their own life to begin with. Get your shit together, and then maybe focus on starting some grand movement. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it. It felt like something I needed to say.
I really feel like we need to humble ourselves and get over it and carve out your piece of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been involved with things. You know my backstory. I've been involved with things that are written in the pages of history.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It wasn't just me. You know, that was more than one person, and that's all of our stories. But my story is my family.
Yeah.
You know, where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going. That's the only thing that I can control. And even to be as callous to say that I can control it is laughable. But it's the only thing that I can influence.
Because we're never truly in control, they say.
Listen, we're not in control of anything.
No.
The only thing we're in control of is saying that we're in control. So the quicker that we can get over that, you know, I think as I look back on it, you know, my parents are of an older generation. I think what's wrong with our society, I should say, let me re-say that, is we don't have any personal lives anymore. We have to post everything on social media. we have to be in the know of everything at all time. There's no wonder. You'll never find anything more beautiful than the mind of a child because they're learning everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as they grow and they mature and they learn and they grow older and they become cynical, that fire is kind of snuffed out. And I think that's where we are as a society.
Yeah.
We've stopped wondering and we've started blaming.
I mean, one can say that too we haven't all stopped wondering because God knows we keep inventing new things every day.
But it's kind of sad. But hey, on to bigger and better things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, tomorrow's a fresh start.
I had Buck Strickland that was on the show here a couple times. He told me, he said he likes to do a self-inventory at the end of every day. Like, you know, what happened good for you today? So you can kind of stack that up and be like, you know, I had all these, I did these good things happen. Whether it just been something like menial, like, oh, hey, I took the trash out or whatever, you know, but he's like, you know, I had a good day at work today, or went to the grocery store, nobody was crazy. Like, it's all about finding that silver lining in life. And I guess maybe the younger viewers won't understand that because we talk about that the fire gets stifled out a little bit. It kind of gets snuffed out and kind of diminishes because we get into this ho-hum rotation and just this meaning of existence day to day in our lives is like, look at us. We're almost in our 40s and we are right there. And that's just, you're in the grind. Like we're just wake up, get your breakfast, go do your errands, do your stuff. And it can get repetitive and it can get down.
I think we've forgotten what our purpose is. All right. And I'm going to say it's going to sound really stupid. 1, get the water. Got to have that.
Yeah.
2, get the food. Eat the food. 3, fucking make babies. So there's more people to get the water and the food. And at the end of the day, don't get dead. Really, that's all life is. And everything else that we have in our society, find a mate. I mean, and originality, you found a mate, you procreated, and then you go find another mate. Now we've got this notion that we're going to love and cherish, and that's great.
Monogamy.
But, you know, get the water, get all the food, make more babies, don't get dead. Repeat. Worship the sun, cradle fire.
I love it.
I mean, am I wrong?
No. I mean, I'm not going to go out and find another maid because she'll.
Well,
she'll
absolutely. No, but I'm just saying, like, that's it. At the essence of our building blocks.
And then everything else is just icing.
Yeah, I mean, language, that was, whatever. That wasn't, yeah, great, but I think if we could just get over all the fluff and kind of get back to, well, I want to go get the food, maybe some water, we would be fine. I think that would be a start. But what do I know?
Just a man.
Well, an anchor man, really. So anything, I haven't seen anything that has amused me today. That's the one thing I try to do, is find something that has amused me to the point where I have to, retell the story or something like that. Very similar to the, Busted Makes Me Feel Good in the theater with my 5-year-old. But, the day is we still got a little bit of time
Didn't
left.
you have a holy OSHA violation you were telling me about earlier?
Which one? What?
A guy with a scissor lift or something?
Oh, okay, you're right. That did. Yeah. Oh, that guy. So, yeah, picture this, folks. Parking garage with a scissor lift as a telescoping end of the scissor lift over the edge of the parking garage, 3 stories up, painting with no harness. Very windy day. And that guy rocked. He had I think it was like a sweet mullet. I couldn't tell. I was in traffic. You're right. Thank you. See, I found something that amused me today that I had to retell.
I thought this is where you were going with it because you talked to me like an hour or two
well,
before you got
really,
here.
that had slipped my mind.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
And now it's on the internet forever.
Yeah, that guy. Wow. Good for you.
Did you say he was doing something with a brick?
Yeah, he was painting something and he had like a brick. He was like, had his hand like a climber, fingertip in there, and like he was up on his tippy toes on this lift painting with a roller, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna watch this dude. He's gonna die.
He's gonna biff it. Yeah.
He's gonna die, and then I'm gonna be part of the deposition.
Look away, son.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, my kids had their Kindles. They were playing Daniel Tiger or whatever the fuck it is they listen to over and over. Great stuff. Yeah, they had their tablets going on there. That's a little slice of heaven, listening to the same stuff over and over again.
You keep checking your watch. Don't worry.
No.
I got your time.
No, it was actually a message came in. I forgot to turn my Bluetooth off, so it was buzzing. So
that might have been what I was hearing earlier.
Yeah, it might have been. My other job is very needing my attention tonight.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm not a dancer.
Well, I mean, if the government is shut down, then probably would have been the dance club.
Hey, listen, times would be tough. Do what you do.
Survive.
All the little kids with the pumped up kid. No, that wouldn't be me. No. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
For you.
Absolutely. I am missing our boy Scott, I will say.
Scott should be back here by the time this episode comes out. I'm hoping next month.
I'll put on the coffee.
Oh, yeah. The French press is raring to go. Scott, if you're listening, my man, the myth, the legend himself, Net, Silver Fox, of those sultry sippings and swillings of coffees and annoying fucking vape noises that I would always have to edit out.
Was that a pterodactyl?
We miss you.
I do. We miss you, buddy.
And you tell your entire battalion, flight, wing, whatever.
Unit.
That you're coming. You're going to come back so hard. You'll be coming back all over this show.
I'm coming, and hell's coming with me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this has been fun. I never thought I would ever be able to talk like this.
Mm-hmm. It's something about hearing yourself in the cans. I'm telling you, it's magic.
No, well, usually when I hear myself in the cans, it's lay light back, lay quarter deflection with intolerance, no warning messages, boom. And that's why I can't hear. For anybody that knows what that is, you know what that is. nerd talk, I guess. Great times. Worst times of my life with the best people I've ever met.
So what would you call, okay, so somebody that's like a military guy, he's nerdy about his job. What do you call it, like a boom nerd? Are you a boom nerd?
No, they call us gun bunnies.
Yeah.
I
know that's the nomenclature, but I'm over here trying to be original and create a new one.
Well, I can't tell you. Well, I mean, you might have to edit this out, but there's the one that we like to call ourselves, and that is field artillery guys. But you can't even do that anymore because now that we've integrated, which has been awesome, actually, we don't do that anymore. We're I guess we're closeted again.
So
we do. I'm thinking, going back to Ghostbusters. I know we've talked in a circle here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the game. I've got the console. I've got a projector. We may have to make that happen.
We're gonna have to do that in your backyard on your property. So I can scream "Busted makes me feel good" out into the woods.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm sure my son will yell it with you, which will make it no less awkward. Uncle, busting makes me feel good. Yeah, no, creepy lyrics. If you really
okay, so with that, they're go on Netflix and watch the movies that made us.
Oh, absolutely great series.
Did you watch one on Ghostbusters where they interviewed Ray Parker Jr.?
About 10 times.
And he's just like, well, you just hit me one day, like
and then one day Bill just showed up to the set.
He just showed up. He said he was going to be here, but we never heard from Bill.
And he showed up, and we started shooting.
And we said Monday at 8 a.m. and he said okay. And then we would talk to him or call him, and he'd never answer. And then 8 a.m. on Monday, there he was, coffee in hand, going, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, so many good memories from that. I just can't get over and tell you how much I love movies. I don't know if it's an escape.
Mm-hmm.
I
like to think it is.
I just like the storylines.
Ooh, so that makes me sorry. We were talking about Tom Hanks with Band of Brothers and everything. There's a movie that you need to check out that Tom Hanks is in. It's on the Apple TV.
Okay.
It's called Finch.
Finch.
It is amazing. It's going to tug at your heartstrings in the best of ways. It's like a future post-apocalyptic movie.
Okay.
Where like the ozone layer was burnt away. There was like a solar flare or something. So like humans can't go out into the sunlight because the UV will just roast them, right?
No daywalkers.
Yeah. No, because I mean, they can, but he has like a UV suit. So he's in like St. Louis in the start of this movie. And he's just going around getting shit, and he's like, "Oh, can of dog food," and he brings it back to his like base, and he has a dog whose name is Goodyear.
Okay,
and Goodyear is a cool fucking dog. Well, he has like a robot dog thing on wheels that I think he calls Deuce or something like that, but it has like a little basket in it, and he can talk to it, and he's like, "Hey, come over here," and he'll use it as like a little mule when he's out there searching for shit.
Okay.
So he's building this other robot that's like humanoid and it's like looks, it's person shaped.
Oh, hello.
And he starts off teaching it how to talk, and the voice is all weird, and like the voice that is done for that I loved because over the course of the movie you see it as it evolves.
Okay.
And as the robot starts talking more naturally because it's literally learning the entire time. And like it ends up wanting to name itself, like it kind of becomes self-aware, but like he's only built with one objective. He has like the three basic laws of robotics, and then there's the fourth one that he built into him that trumps everything. It was like, no matter what, protect the dog.
Protect the dog.
Like the dog is the highest priority for everything. And it doesn't immediately tell you why, and it does later on in the movie, and it is so good. It is so fucking good. Because if you're like me, and I know that you have Jackson Brown Dog.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
And it encroaches upon a dog owner's love for their dog, but doesn't do it in a way that it's not like a Marley and Me kind of thing.
Oh, good. So, I don't know if I have that left in me.
Or is it?
Yeah. Marley and Me with robots.
It's an amazing movie. I'm telling you, you need to watch it. Just out of the fact that I'm a big lover of science fiction, robots, Tom Hanks, and dogs. Like, it checked all the boxes for me. I said, this is the greatest movie.
And blinding, burning, flesh-eating sun.
Flesh-eating sun. Yeah, the sun was very angry in that movie.
I'll have to check it out.
I'm telling you, I'm no bullshit, not even filler for the show. Like, you need to check it out.
Isn't it amazing the kinship we have with our dogs?
Yes, as much as my dog pissed me off, like you see my fingernail right there, he ripped half my fingernail off with his harness.
No bacon Band-Aid, I see.
Yeah, it finally reattached to my finger, so.
Well, that means you're regenerating.
Yes. I've grown stronger.
Speaking of dogs, I'll tell a small story. When I was in the mountains of Afghanistan and we were given the order to shoot dogs, it went against everything. Literally was a horrible experience. Really haunts me sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the series Chernobyl.
The one on HBO, absolutely, and it is terrifying.
So when the young boy was going around with the squad of the animals,
their lead nut cups on them,
and they were shooting the dogs. That was the hardest scene for me to digest because I had, in fact, not been through the bleed off of the power plant and was having to kill the mutated animals, but I did have to do in some dogs, and that has been probably the worst experience of my life.
God, why? Okay, so not to delve too deep into it, but I know that the listeners would ask is why? Why would you be told to do that?
Well, the standing order at the time was with our movements and whatnot. They're a rural nation. They had disease.
Mm-hmm.
They were aggressive at times.
Yeah.
They were starving, and they also gave away position. So it was just one of those kind of like, we didn't go out looking for it to put them down, but if the situation arose.
Oh, so it wasn't like your job today is to go out.
No, we weren't on the Paw Patrol.
God.
But that's my story. Was that too dark?
No, that's good.
That's a good closer, right? No, it was just one of those little housekeeping things that we had to do occasionally from time to time that it really sticks with you.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So. Oddly enough.
So we are pretty much wrapping up here, right out of time, guys. So Chad will ask you here in the end, is there anything else for any of our guests on the show, as we call the farewell moment? Is there anything else that you'd like to leave us with? Any shout-outs, any jokes, a story, anything that it is that you definitely want to make sure that we didn't cover today at all, that you want to leave in the indelible mark of the internet? The show is yours. Take as much time as you need.
Okay. Well, as we talked earlier, I think if we can just get back to a little bit more of basic life and have some things that are our own and not everybody else's. And, that little ball in your stomach when you're like, I probably shouldn't say that. There's a reason why your stomach does that to you. That's what I'm saying, people. Just live your life for you. Take care of your family. Control what you can control. And I know it's so cliche and everybody says it. Love everybody the best that you can.
Yeah.
All right. Not love everybody. You can't do that all the time. That'd be exhausting.
Because there's some real assholes out there, too.
My name's not Fred. I don't have a trolley. And my goldfish are dead. But if you can just, have a basic life, carve out your peace, help some people along the way, and you can put your head on the pillow at night, you feel like you did your part, then you did your part. That's all I got to say.
With that, guys, we are all out of time. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and thank you for tuning in here. As always, to let you know, we are official affiliates of Duke Cannon Supply Company. Definitely click on the link there in the description below for the affiliate link. Click on that link, buy yourself a little something, nice little smelling niceness, because the holiday season is upon us, and they had one hell of a Black Friday and a Cyber Monday sale all sorts of goodies. So yeah, buy yourself a little something nice. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's for a loved one. Maybe it's for somebody you hate. I don't know. Get out there, buy them a gift. Help support the show. You can find us anywhere it is that you can get a podcast. We're on Stitcher, Spotify, Sounder, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeart Radio, and a hell of a lot more. So next time we see you, we hope to find you happier, healthier, and just a little bit less bitter in life. So until we see you next time here, peace out. No goodbye from you?
Oh, hey, my bad. Peace out. Have a good night.